everybody, SonGoshuaku here. This is my live review of WWE Survivor Series WarGames, and that's why William Regal does it and I don't. 2025 review. Alright, so the first match itself kicked off with the Women's WarGames match, consisting of Rhea Ripley, IYO SKY, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and AJ Lee taking on Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Becky Lynch. So something that was different about this match was the fact that you basically had no teammates being in the steel cage, like the shark cages that they used to have basically out there with the Royal Rumble and stuff. Yeah, they ended up doing like this Royal Rumble style countdown at the 20-second mark, basically for when they were coming out. Also, shout out to Notorious Heels Podcast. Thanks for joining the chat. I'm doing good. I heard you all's review on Spotify. Definitely check out Notorious Heels Podcast. They do not hold back at all when it comes to their opinions and everything, but hey, it's been good, entertaining to listen to you all. And then as far as this goes, as far as the match, Charlotte Flair, she comes out first wearing a different outfit than usual, that is actually inspired. I believe the outfit was made or designed by, it was a young fan who unfortunately is battling cancer right now, and Charlotte Flair has befriended her and used that design to represent her at the show. Incredible stuff. Really love how the wrestlers go out of their ways to really make the fans feel like something special, and especially for that brave young lady right there. And also I would just say it's been really cool to see Charlotte Flair dress in different outfits and everything. I really have been enjoying the difference in change to her character, so that was really awesome to see and something I've been enjoying. That being said, Asuka comes out next, so we get Charlotte versus Asuka, basically putting on a demonstration of what's made their chemistry in the ring so great over the last decade. IYO SKY comes out next with a trash can lid that has her name on it, so you already knew what spot was coming if you couldn't tell, having already watched these WarGames matches. And here, pretty much, IYO being a boss, she jumps off one ring rope. Oh yeah, this right here, she was definitely a boss for this. So IYO actually jumps off of one side of the ring and onto the other side of the ring and slips in midair, and you're like, oh no! And then she's able to catch herself on the landing and turn it into like this sort of springboard clothesline. And even the commentators talk about how basically she completely made a huge, great comeback there. And that right there is why IYO SKY is a boss in the ring, to being able to just change on the fly like that. Becky Lynch comes out next in her red fur coat. By the way, since I haven't done a review since SummerSlam, I have grown in complete love with Becky Lynch's theme song. Really love it. Been listening to it quite a bit at the gym, working out on my way back and forth for commutes, man. Good stuff. We get a nice callback with Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch going back at it again. Of course, they started off as best friends, and in real life sort of broke away from each other, and then actually reconciled and came back. And they were actually they wrestled a few years ago at Survivor Series 2. I think it was 2021, if I remember. I think it was around then. So yeah, that was really cool to see Charlotte and Becky going back at it just for old time's sakes. And then this is where I started noticing, yeah, they were doing the 20-second countdown, and when the wrestlers were coming out. So next is Alexa Bliss, and she starts facing Asuka. Of course, a nice callback to when Alexa Bliss, as I was mentioning, I don't think I did a review at the time, but she basically went Ultra Instinct back during the pandemic days when she transformed into the Dark Alexa, and Asuka couldn't do anything. She was like nothing, you know, it was like the theme song, dun 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 dun. Of course, I gotta get my Dragon Ball references. Check out my main YouTube channel, SonGoshuaku, if you want the Dragon Ball content. But gotta go ahead and put it in here to WWE. So yeah, that was nice to see them going back at it. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, they do some great teamwork moves against Becky and Asuka. There's even a cute moment with Alexa, Charlotte, and IYO all doing the whole IYO SKY ton. I'm really cool. I think it's awesome that she's been able to get that over. So that was fantastic. Kairi, from there, we get Kairi Sane comes on out, and Kairi goes to town using this chain. There's funny moments where Asuka constantly yells, Kairi! I love it when she does that, man. They even eventually wrap all three of the competitors with the chain and do a double team drop kick attack. So that was a really cool spot to see. AJ Lee, she then comes out, which I know I haven't even talked about it because I've been so busy on my main channel, but yeah, fantastic to see AJ Lee back, and I very much enjoyed her comeback match teaming up with CM Punk against Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. I thought it was great, fun, cute, adorable. Really enjoyed the mixed tag team match. So that was good stuff there. And I love it that she helped Maxine Dupree become the Intercontinental Championship. Well deserved for Maxine Dupree, man. But yeah, as far as getting back to the match here, so AJ Lee, yeah, she lives up to what she pretty much was saying on Raw. She locks herself in one side of the cage with Becky Lynch and just basically imposes her will on her. Becky Lynch becomes AJ Lee's will, pretty much. The fans are getting real heated once the heels all start ganging up on AJ Lee, and when the baby faces join in to help AJ Lee, they start getting all cheered up, and then Nia Jax comes out and starts dominating the baby faces, and Rhea Ripley comes out to a thunderous ovation wearing the mask based off from what they were saying in the movie Terrifier, as she was representing Ark the Clown, and I'm guessing she might be in one of the new movies coming out. I haven't really followed the series, but I just got it in my notes so I can sound like I know what I'm talking about here, or at least have done my research. But yeah, that was really cool. It's crazy to think that Rhea Ripley got her nose injured this time around last year as well. So that was something, man. Just it's like it's perfectly timed. Hopefully this is it, and next year for WarGames, Rhea Ripley can come in with a 100% healthy nose. But that being said, Rhea, she enters the ring and enters like a bunch of weapons. She starts going to town on all the heels, and here comes a cool spot that I thought was really cool. Rhea Ripley, she puts Kyrie in the submission. I forget what it was called because the Riptide's her finisher where she slams, right? So I forget what her finisher is, where she kind of does like the half crab or Boston crab, but it's in reverse. She puts Kyrie in there, and Kyrie's upper body's put in the trash can, and IYO SKY runs back and forth and delivers a drop kick into the trash can. So I thought that was really cool. The last competitor to enter is Lash Legend. Lash Legend, she comes in and basically just ragdolls all the babyface women. I mean, it's cool because she's like even bigger than Rhea Ripley, and I know that she's super strong. Apparently, I think she may have outdone all of Bianca Belair's training, all her performance center, records for lifting and everything. So yeah, and Lash Legend just has that charisma about her and everything. Total superstar, absolute superstar, and it's crazy to see her ragdolling women like Rhea Ripley. So yeah, she ragdolls Alexa Bliss at one point, like putting her in her sleeper hold and just like chasing her all around. And I mean, Alexa Bliss is just, her body's like like just basically looks like a ragdoll. Basically, it was crazy. Great sell job. She chokeslammed Charlotte Flair, and it's like, man, just seeing Charlotte Flair get woman handled and everything like that, and just slammed and stuff, like crazy. And then from there, you see the also the women getting women handled. I'm so used to saying man handled for the guys, so I apologize for that, guys. Woman handled is Rhea Ripley when she is powerbombed by Lash Legend, and Nia and Lash, they do some big power spots to the baby faces, like powerbombing Alexa and Charlotte into the back of their backs against the cage, and both Nia and Lash wiping out the baby faces by throwing IYO from one ring to the other side of the ring. Shout out to Nia Jax. A lot of people like to talk about, oh, she's not safe and everything. I think Nia has come a long way. Yeah, she's had a couple of hiccups, but no wrestler's going to be perfect. But compared to, all the injuries that used to wrap up early in her career, I think fantastic. I think I've really enjoyed Nia Jax since she's come back to WWE, and there was a point where you could see IYO was about to fall out of her hand, like the leg portion, when she's got her up for the gorilla press slam, and she's able to readjust and also talk Lash Legend through it and everything to make sure that they can get IYO up there safely and land. So yeah, definitely shout out to Nia for that. At one point, Asuka goes to shoot the miss, but Charlotte dodges out of the way, and it lands on Lash Legend, who gets blinded by the miss. And this is like the plot device that basically takes Lash Legend out of the match, because she was dominating everyone, and I'm glad that they're showcasing the younger talent here. And IYO from there, she goes to the top of the cage. AJ Lee then picks up a trash can, and IYO's name is on it, and Rhea, she puts AJ onto her shoulders, and AJ is then handing the trash can to IYO SKY, and IYO puts it over her body, and you start seeing all the heels gathering in the middle because they want to make sure that they, from a real life standpoint, they catch IYO SKY safely, but you just always know the spot's gonna come, and IYO, she puts it over her body, and this time she does a swanton bomb, basically, and I was glad she landed nicely, because it like, oh man, she almost could have crushed her legs there, but she lands safely on the heels. It's a spectacular looking spot. I've always said over the years in these War Games Survivor Series reviews is that, to me, that spot that IYO SKY does, putting the trash can over her body, I know she's having fun. I know everyone else is having fun. Hey, shout out to Samuel and joining me in the chat. Appreciate it. All right, thanks for joining. And when IYO SKY does this maneuver, I always say, to me, and if you're a Dragon Ball fan, it's like the ending to the second Broly movie, known in the dub as Second Coming for Dragon Ball for Broly. And that ending, how they defeated Broly, that was spectacular. But it didn't make a lot of sense if you know the story of Dragon Ball with Goku being dead and how the Dragon Balls work. So it was a cool looking finish, but a nonsensical one. So it's like a cool nonsensical finish, and that's kind of what I've always, getting back to WWE, have always put this this IYO SKY spot. Because think about it, if someone's gonna climb up to a cage for completely handicap their whole upper body and their side and vision, not be able to see anything, and just jump off and hope that they're gonna land on their opponents, you know, the people aren't just gonna sit there and go like, oh, they're gonna run and scatter and let that woman crash and burn. So it always never really made sense from a logical standpoint. However, I understand why they do it. It's a fun time. Everybody loves to see it and everything, stuff like that. So I always say it's a cool, non-logical spot, nonetheless. Just telling it the way it is. But I did think it was cool that IYO did something different this time, and I think honestly it probably was maybe the best part of the whole match and moment. And from here, Becky Lynch, she realizes she's alone and tries to escape the cage, but the baby faces prevent her from climbing out. Rhea Ripley then delivers the riptide to Becky Lynch, and then AJ Lee applies her Black Widow finish submission, causing Becky Lynch for the second time to tap out. Well, technically, I don't think she tapped out. I saw her head go like, ah, but I guess the way Becky Lynch is selling this on social media is that she was just yelling for her partners to come over and help her out, but they were all knocked out. They were KO. They were done. They were in ZZ's land sleeping, and they were gone because IYO SKY crashed and burned on them. So I thought it was, at the time looking at it, was just her doing the old school way before, you know, Ken Shamrock came out with the tap out, making it famous. It was just IYO, I think it was just Becky Lynch going like, yeah, tap, 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 and stuff. And thus, your winners is Rhea Ripley, IYO SKY, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and AJ Lee. Yeah, you know what? Having seen every women's War Games match, I'm gonna have to say I thought this would have to be the lowest of them all tier-wise. It wasn't bad. By no means am I saying it was bad, but it didn't stand out to me like the other women's War Games matches. You know, traditionally, and I've reviewed all the War Games matches, and I've been to two of them. One of the NXT ones in 2019, and I went to the 2023. And usually with these women's War Games matches, they're kind of like the action-packed heavy War Games matches, and that's something that I was like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know if they brought the action part of this. Like, I don't know if I really remember anything that stands out, and that's not to diminish what these men and women do in the ring, because obviously these spots hurt, going up against the cage, bumping around, and then you add in weapons and all that stuff, and the risk that IYO SKY and the risk that they take. So I'm not diminishing that, but yeah, this one just did not stand out to me like the previous women's War Games. Thank you, Samuel, for liking and subscribing. I appreciate that. So yeah, but overall, I mean, it was okay, chill, fun match. You know, I enjoyed it. It does further more of AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, so we'll see where that ends up going. But yeah, this women's War Games match did not stand out to me as previous years. And I have to remember that, yeah, as you guys can see, that's the winners and everything and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, decent match. Definitely a decent match overall. All right, so our next match was for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. John Cena defending the title against Dominik Mysterio. Now, going into this, I actually wanted to see John Cena in the War Games match. Like, you just might as well add him, get as much star power you could, but instead he decided to run it back. And so, yeah, you know, I did enjoy, and I'll talk more in depth about John Cena's final year and just overall retrospective when I review his final match in a couple couple of weeks here. But overall, it's cool to see that he did get the Intercontinental Championship and became a Grand Slam champion. So as far as this match goes, Dominik Mysterio comes out to cheers, being that it is his hometown, and John Cena comes out to a tremendous ovation and everything, with a lot of chants of thank you, Cena. And I think that was what was interesting, is it was a very mixed response during this. It was let's go Cena, let's go Dirty Dom, and people were singing Dirty Dom, Dirty Dom, all that stuff. We got that awesome introduction by Alicia Taylor, even though I do not agree at all about John Cena being the greatest of all time. Stone Cold Steve Austin, that's my all-time favorite and everything, but I get it though. John Cena, he definitely was big for a whole generation of fans and stuff. I do enjoy the introduction, never seen 17 and everything. I don't want to butcher it right now because I don't got the notes and everything, but I'll say it probably in my ranking review coming up and stuff like that. But yeah, Michael Cole also mentions that this is John Cena's 177th match in terms of PLE matches, only second behind The Undertaker in terms of wins. So that just shows you how long Cena's been around. The match starts off with a very mixed response. The first part of the match is mostly Dominik Mysterio dominating John Cena, thanks to Raquel and Roxanne causing a bunch of distractions and interference throughout the match. There's a point where, yeah, this whole match was Shenanigan City. From there's a point where Dominik Mysterio goes for a Hurricane Rana off the barricade to John Cena, but awkwardly lands on his shoulder. At least that's the way they try to make it look. And this, of course, was playing up on the very real injury that Penta had on Monday Night Raw. And so they're making it look like, oh, this is how Cena's match is going to end, just abruptly like this. And it's like, oh, what are they doing? But you see how the camera lingers on him. And as I've always said in most of my reviews, you can tell usually if an injury is legit or not, because if they don't want it, they're going to linger it on to the wrestler or the crowd because they don't want you to see this being a part of the show. The fact that they're sitting out there, and making a big deal about it, I'm like, okay, something's up here. And then basically while Cena is waiting in the ring, Raquel comes in and gives the Tahana bomb to John Cena. Impressive for Raquel, being able to pick up John Cena like that and slam him. And then you get Roxanne Perez, who does the Pac Rops to which is like basically a destroyer to John Cena. And then from here, Dominik Mysterio pops up and does a 619 and then the frog splash. But the referee does like, nah, we ain't playing this. No, not at all. I'm not counting for that BS. And I like this. I like it. How many times have we seen referees get distracted because, their vision is impaired, they don't see it, but you clearly know they heard the chair shot. You clearly see that the person's down, and all of a sudden it's just so convenient the heel is covering the baby face. So I like it that he's like, basically, no, I'm not counting that BS, and he goes ahead and he sends Roxanne and Raquel packing to the back and everything. So I like this. We need to see more of this from the referees and everything. It makes the referees look like, no, we're not ridiculous. We heard what went on. It's obvious what went on here. So now that was fresh to see. I was glad. That was a breath of fresh air and everything. That being said, after the referee does that, John Cena then, he does the 5 moves of doom, as many of the IWC have always said over the years. Dirty Dom tries the dirtiest trick in the book, that every dirty trick in the book. He's unzipping his boot, just like he did with AJ Styles at SummerSlam, and does the 619 and frog splash. John Cena, he kicks out, and since that didn't work, Dominik goes back and zips up his boots and put it back on, only to walk right into an attitude adjustment from John Cena for a near fall. John Cena then goes for the shoulder tackles and hits the first one on Dom, but the second one, Dom dodges dodges out of the way, and John Cena ends up taking out the referee accidentally. And it's from here that John Cena, he gets the STF on Dominik Mysterio, but the referee is down, and Finn Balor and JD McDonough come out and they start ganging up on John Cena. And from here, they all jump the ropes. JD jumps off the top ropes. As Michael Cole mentions, it's been like a 5-on-1 assault from the Judgment Day, just trying to do everything they can to keep John Cena down. But Cena lands his knees, and Finn Balor goes for the coup de grace. But from there, Cena gets out of the way, and John Cena then delivers a double attitude adjustment at JD and Finn, basically showing that nearly at 50 years old, he is still incredibly strong to be able to pick up 2 guys and deliver the old FU/attitude adjustment, just just like he did with Edge and the Big Show back at WrestleMania 25, I believe it was. And then from here, the whole place becomes unglued because Liv Morgan makes a surprise return. And Liv Morgan, and I guess this was spoiled on the internet, but I didn't know all day because I was working. So Liv Morgan coming out was a complete shock and surprise to me. Liv Morgan, she comes out and she slaps Dominik and then does a full body hug on John Cena. But the camera zooms into her face and she goes from smiling to looking devious, just like John Cena's heel turn early in the year at Elimination Chamber. And it's from here that Dominik Mysterio then hits the 619 on, Liv Morgan kicks John Cena in the balls and then hits him with the championship, the Intercontinental title, and Dominik hits the 619 and then gets the, I think, did he do the frog splash? I don't remember if I put in my notes here, but he nonetheless, he gets the pinfall victory when Liv Morgan throws the referee into the ring. 1, 2, 3. Dominik Mysterio is your winner and is now a 2-time WWE Intercontinental Champion while also being a world champion in AAA right now, the AAA Mega Champion. The fans, they walk away in whole, basically, Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan, and the fans, they give John Cena a standing ovation for his final PLE match. So, how we all feeling out there about this this being John Cena's first match? In the moment, I was like, that was really Shenanigan City, because John Cena, you know, even though I've never been the biggest fan of him and stuff like that, I've always given him respected. When it comes time for some of these big PLE matches, he certainly delivers. But looking back on it now, it was a fun match. They did everything they could to keep Dominik Mysterio a heel, and it's cool that he did give Dominik Mysterio that big win for the Intercontinental title back, and he gave the ladies a lot of cool spots, and that's what I think this match is going to be remembered for. You know, awesome moment. You'll always remember Raquel can always have a defining career moment saying she slammed John Cena, or Raquel or Roxanne, she got her finisher on John Cena. So really cool for him to give the Judgment Day. And after looking at where things are going the following night on Monday Night Raw, it's like they're back to wanting to push Judgment Day as a dominant faction on the Raw brand. So really cool for John Cena to help out the Judgment Day in doing that. And I gotta remember, oh my gosh, I gotta remember, I get so caught up in the reviews. Yeah, that's when Liv Morgan did the hit to John Cena, basically, and then right there, John Cena leaving for his last PLE show. All right, so from there, oh man, my notes went all the way up. Let me go back down to get to the match. So the next match, all right, so the next match was for the WWE Women's World Championship. Nikki Bella versus Stephanie Vaquer. I think it's Vaquer. I can't even remember. I can't even Vaquer, right? Vaquer. Oh my God, I feel like I got something in my mouth. But anyway, we'll keep on going. Hope you guys were entertained by that one. All right, so Stephanie Vaquer, basically in the first part of this match is mostly being dominated by Nikki Bella, in a very methodical beatdown that at least it sounded to me on TV like the audience was very quiet for most of this match. Stephanie, she does get some nice offense in, particularly when she does the armbar to the outside of the ring ropes hanging from what really looked like a brutal armbar to Nikki Bella. Nikki attempts to do the devil's kiss on Stephanie Vaquer, and but Stephanie reverses it and tries to do it to her now, but the two of them end up rolling out of the ring, and Nikki holds on to the lower rope, and they certainly got one of the biggest reactions of the entire match, basically when the fans were booing Nikki blocking it, and that would kind of become the story of this match. Like I will say, you really see how important the devil's kiss was in terms of making sure that this match got a big reaction. At one point, Nikki Bella is thrown into the turnbuckle. Stephanie crashes Stephanie crashes her, Stephanie chases her. Nikki gets her foot up in the air, but it lightly hits Stephanie in the face, obviously doing no damage at all. This leads to Nikki, begging for mercy, and Stephanie basically grabs her by the leg and does that like twisting maneuver where she like makes it look like she's bent the leg out of joint or something. It looks absolutely brutal. Stephanie then delivers a devastating Meteora in the corner to Nikki Bella. We'll see at this point, this is where I started to notice how quiet a lot of the audience was in making noise compared to the other matches. And at one point on the outside of the apron, Nikki Bella tries to go for a power bomb, but Stephanie is able to block it by hanging on to the ropes, and then she jumps and lands her knee right across the throat to Nikki Bella. It looks absolutely brutal, and Stephanie then goes gets Nikki on the announce table and delivers the Devil's Kiss, which gets a big reaction of the crowd. Remember what I said about that move being very significant for this match getting a big reaction. And from here, the audience, they go along with the Booger T, and Stephanie gets Nikki in the ring and delivers yet another Devil Kiss, and the audience continues going and stuff like that. So you can really see this match, just how tremendously important it is for the Devil's Kiss to get a big reaction in this match. Stephanie then delivers her finisher from the top rope, I think the corkscrew moonsault, gets the 1-2-3 and retains the WWE Women's World Championship. I thought overall, quite frankly, it was a solid match. Nikki Bella certainly does her best work as a heel, and it was good to see her working as a heel and everything. And I definitely think it makes it very understandable why it was the right move to turn Nikki Bella heel. And I thought actually this was probably Nikki Bella's best match since she's come back to WWE. So overall, really good showing for the ladies, solid match. But overall, I don't think it was a standout on this show. So you'll see where it ends up ranking in my matches and everything. But yeah, Stephanie Vaquer is still your women's world champion, and looking forward to seeing where they're going next on Monday Night Raw. They teased something with her and Liv Morgan, which I think is the direction they may have been going in before Liv got injured. All right, some other stuff that they did. There was a New Day segment for a mobile game coming in. It's crazy to think that a year ago, the New Day was like one of the hottest things going in WWE because people wanted to know where is this whole storyline that they're teasing they're going to break up going, and then they did the breakup, and then you look at how it's been through this year, and I just don't think Triple H and his creative team really did an effective job of really capitalizing off of the New Day's heel run and all the momentum that they got and all the buzz from there and stuff. So it's been really sad to see. But hey, still big fan of the New Day and Grayson Waller. They also announced that 46,016 fans attended Survivor Series at Petco Park in San Diego, California. So yeah, that place looked massive, and I should mention too that I thought it looked incredible seeing Survivor Series treated like one of the big four now being in the stadium show. So that was really cool to see. And now we get to the main event of the evening, the men's War Games match. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Roman Reigns versus Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. So the first one to start off the match was and you know, with them getting rid of the shark cages, I gotta say, man, this is why I was really wondering with Brock Lesnar. Like, I'm like, is Brock gonna start the match? Is he gonna really sit in that cage that whole time, or is he gonna basically just will he either enter the ring because he don't want to be in that cage, or is he gonna sit in that cage? Well, we got our answers. We get no cages at all. We get the Royal Rumble style entrances. So the first one to start the match for the babyface team is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, which I thought they were gonna start Jey Uso because they're gonna want to do that Jey Uso entrance, and boy, do I have got something to say about that to come. In the whole yeeting entrance. So yeah, he comes out to a thunderous ovation as, of course, he CM Punk as they sing his song. Like with his wife AJ Lee, despite with the door being open, CM Punk ends up climbing the cage. Incredible to think how far he's come in WWE since his comeback 2 years ago at Survivor Series. I was there in person when he returned in 2023. And then from there, this is Roman Reigns' anniversary too. 13, I think, because he debuted in 2012. So this is 13th anniversary along with Seth Rollins and Jon Moxley in AEW, known as Dean Ambrose in WWE. Man, I was in college at the time. It's crazy how much time has gone by there. But Bron Breakker, he's the first one to enter and start for the heel side. So the first 5 minutes is what they do starting out. From here, Bron, he pretty much overpowered CM Punk, but there's a cool spot where Bron uses that impressive speed back and forth on the ropes, but before he could hit CM Punk times a pitch perfect side back heel foot right to Bron's face, bringing him to his quick momentum to a halt. So that was really cool. But yeah, it's pretty much Bron Breakker dominating CM Punk with the power, with CM Punk getting some offense in. Drew McIntyre is next to enter. So yeah, it's clear at this point. I'm thinking it's clear at this point it's not looking good for CM Punk at all. And I really love the tension stare down between Drew and CM Punk as he gets in the ring, and they both just start going at it. But yeah, the CM Punk's quickly overwhelmed, 2-on-1, getting his butt kicked by Drew McIntyre and Bron Breakker. And Cody Rhodes comes out next to a big ovation. And of course, his father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. That is his birthright, as he said. And I thought he cut a heck of a promo when he was on that announce table. So yeah, Drew McIntyre, he holds the door closed. So Cody Rhodes, he ends up climbing the cage and does the cross body from the top of the cage onto Drew McIntyre. CM Punk from here, he then gets up from having his head graded into the cage, and CM Punk is busted open. So it looks like we're definitely getting blood in here. Certainly these matches did not produce as much blood as what we got in Blood and Guts in AEW most recently. But Cody, he accidentally elbows CM Punk despite the fact that he has both bad guys down. But they quickly get back on the same page, and I didn't know what that was about. Like, oh, like you got both bad guys down. The only other person in the ring is gonna be the referee or you and stuff, or your opponent. So I didn't understand that. I guess they were trying to build some tension with that. But let me go ahead and take a break here. Water. But yeah, from here, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, they quickly get back and they deliver a heart attack to Drew McIntyre and the tribute, which is their tribute, obviously, to the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And then they do a tribute to the Road Warriors. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes deliver the Doomsday Device, which then ends up resulting in Bron Breakker falling directly on the back of his head and neck. And that was one of the parts that got me out of my seat going like, oh my gosh! I was like, oh my gosh! I was like, oh my gosh. And just like the announcers on commentary, it's like, oh, I was scared as heck, man, for Bron Breakker. Dude, it's never bad for wrestlers to get injured, especially when you have someone as promising of a career ahead of him like Bron Breakker. So that got a huge yeah, oh my gosh reaction. You can hear the audience gasp, you know. And like I was saying earlier, they kept the action completely on CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Drew McIntyre. They were not showing you Bron Breakker because that was not part of the show. And that's, like I said, that's how you can tell the difference of when an injury is real or not. But Bron Breakker, he gets checked out throughout the rest of the portion of the match until, yeah, Logan Paul, he comes out next, which from then Bron Breakker resumes basically continuing the match like nothing happened. So he must have got checked out, was okay. So just got to show you, man, right there how strong and tough an individual Bron Breakker is, for a man that size to land all that muscle body weight onto his neck and back from that distance and still be okay, man. Incredible. It just goes to show you how these men and women, it just takes a whole other type of world of conditioning to do what these people do, to be able to land like that and still come out unscathed. Tremendous, total respect for what these men and women do in the ring, these athletes. And yeah, from there, yeah, I'm no expert honestly on this, because I think with the Doomsday you're supposed to land stomach first or something, like, you know, whole front side first, so you don't land on your back, your neck and air. But man, like I said, much respect to Bron Breakker being able to withstand that and basically eat that. Yeah, that's what he did. His body ate that. But yeah, getting back to the match, Logan Paul, he does some really good demonstration of athleticism when he jumps from one ring to the other side of the ring to do a crossbody onto, I think it was Cody Rhodes. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I'm just going based on my notes here. Wade Barrett, he can't stop going on commentary talking about how Bron Breakker's resilience of his neck, even making a comment saying, whatever the hell his neck is made of, I want some of that, but I can't blame him at all for that, man. Cody and CM Punk are pretty much getting dominated by the three heels. Now Jimmy Uso then comes out, who brings out some tables and should I say the Slim Jim sponsored tables, and pretty much it's action pretty back and forth forth, getting through here. But then Bronson Reed comes out and squashes everybody. No, is that right? Jimmy Uso. Yeah, he comes out. Bronson Reed comes out. I'm thinking Jey Uso, but no, it's Jimmy Uso. Bronson Reed comes out and squashes everybody with the tsunami splash, and the heels are just dominating once again. And this right here is where main event Jey Uso comes out. Now, I got it in the notes, but first of all, Jey Uso comes out, and I love Jey Uso. I'm not giving him the bashing that you see a lot of people do online and everything, but here's the thing. There's a time and a place for everything. Jey Uso, basically, he kind of is lightly running, and he's like shoulder and like banging to the beat of his music, and I'm like, run, your comrades are getting killed in there. They're getting their butts kicked, you know, like Jeff Hardy when he's coming out juking and everything to the beat of his music, and Matt Hardy's just being there, help me, Jeff, help me. And Jeff is just like, oh yeah, let me go help my brother, but hold on, let me just get a little bit more dance, get the pop of the crowd, and start running. You know, even Jeff's made fun of that himself in interviews. So yeah, he comes on out. Basically, Jey Uso's kind of is like running with a little bit of urgency, but at the same time trying to feel the beat of his music, when that's just not what's needed. You need to just run straight down there and help your comrades who are getting their butts kicked by him on a 2-and-3 assault. So yeah, he finally gets in there, and Jey Uso basically he cleans house, and this is where this part took me out of the match, and I've heard that it's been mixed reactions online. So after the house is clean, Jey Uso basically feels that the best decision to do, instead of making sure that all these heels are beaten down so they can be prepared when Brock Lesnar comes out, because he's the only one left on the hillside, he tells the camera, run it back. And he climbs up on the cage and just starts yeeting and hanging on to the to one of the cable riders that constructs the keeps the cage going up and down, and he's just like banging his head to the beat and all that stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, Brock Lesnar is coming out, beat him down, continue your assault on the heels. And it's like, man, just, yeah, that took me out of it. And like I said, I like the entrance. This is why I just think have Jey Uso come out first, get the yeet out the way, because once this is WarGames, it's all business. Think of it like this: on the actual battlefield, you wouldn't actually have one of the troops goofing off in the middle of the war, in the middle of the battleground, especially when their comrades are in need. So why would you do it in this match from a psychology standpoint when this is supposed to be war? It's 5 guys who hate these other 5 guys, and they're going to war. So I just don't think that was really I understand it's a fun time, they want to have a fun time, but yeah, that part took me out of the match. And then Brock Lesnar's music hits, and Brock Lesnar just basically comes out and he wipes the floor with everybody. I saw a part where Jey Uso was like, you know, eating and stuff, and he's like, oh crap, when Brock Lesnar comes out and stuff. CM Punk, to his credit, he kind of did a little joke with the chair, like he was playing air guitar, but he went back to working on the heels, and Bron and Wade Barrett was great on commentary to mention this. So yeah, CM Punk starts taking the chair to beat up his opponents during Jey Uso's entrance. Brock Lesnar comes out, definitely looked very focused, because obviously, you know, he had that slipping incident on Monday Night Raw, but he made sure he landed that stuff, and he looked intense and was ready to go. Brock Lesnar basically comes in, and Michael Cole mentions that this is the first time in 21 years that Brock Lesnar has teamed with someone during a match at Survivor Series. Brock Lesnar, he then comes in and just suplexes all the baby faces, gives them all that works, gives them all the F5s. He's handing out F5s like Oprah. He's like, you get an F5, you get an F5, you get an F5, you get an F5. And Michael Cole says it's like being locked in a steel cage with a grizzly bear. And then from here, Roman Reigns is the last one to enter the ring, and everyone throws the ones up. And Brock Lesnar, he gets out of the cage, waiting for his old rival, as the audience erupts, and basically starts throwing their ones in the air. And both men, they run towards each other to a collision, and Brock Lesnar is quickly overwhelmed with like 3 consecutive Superman punches. But before Roman can land the 4th, and I love the stare down into the aisleway, it's really cool just to see Brock Lesnar now as the heel and Roman as the babyface, all getting cheered and stuff and things like that. But yeah, Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns, he catches on the announce. Yeah, Brock catches Roman and crashes him through the announce table with the F5. Brock then throws Roman Reigns into the cage to begin the War Games match officially. Lesnar, he's basically, hey, we got Cole, thank you for joining the chat. Lesnar says he basically wipes out everyone, delivers more F5s to Roman Reigns, but Cody is able to break up the pin. CM Punk then is able to land the GTS to Brock Lesnar, and Cody Rhodes does the crossroads to Lesnar. They both tried to do a double pin, but it's broken up by Logan Paul, who does the frog splash. Paul Heyman then, out of his pocket, gives Logan Paul the brass knuckles, and then from there through the cage, and Logan Paul uses them to knock out all the baby faces. But before Logan Paul can use the brass knucks on Roman Reigns, Roman spears him and puts the brass knucks on himself. And I was getting hyped. It's like, oh, this is gonna be cool, because then he starts with the brass knuckles on, starts doing the Superman punch, wiping all the heels out. So Roman Reigns was straight on fire with this. That was cool. Jey Uso, he tries to hold Brock Lesnar for a spear, but Brock Lesnar, he then puts him up for an F5, but Roman is able to save him by spearing Brock through the Slim Jim sponsor table while Jey Uso is on his shoulders. Eventually, Bron Breakker starts laying people out with the spear, and CM Punk, he gets the GTS on Logan Paul, but then a mysterious figure dressed in all black with a mask on climbs over the cage and delivers the curb stop to CM Punk, which got me going like, oh, I'm like, they got us again, and then I realized, now, see, Seth Rollins ain't built like that. I'm like, it's got to be someone else. I didn't know who the heck it is, but apparently the rumor going around is that it's Austin Theory who's going to be joining the Vision soon, and then from there, after the curb stomp is hit to CM Punk, most likely Austin Theory, dressed in all black, climbs up out of there and runs away. Bron Breakker, he's completely shocked through all this, and he takes advantage with basically the wounded CM Punk, because all the other baby faces and heels are down. It's down to Bron Breakker and CM Punk at this point. Bron Breakker delivers a devastating spear to CM Punk, scores the 1-2-3, and thus your winner of the men's War Games match, Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. And Paul Heyman's team walks away victorious. I guess some people were mad about Brock Lesnar raising his hands, being all huggy and shoulder to shoulder and buddy like. I'm like, I don't see the big deal. They're all heels. They're all bad guys. They wanted to take out all the good guys, and they're celebrating their win. They have no reason to hate each other. They've got every reason to be shoulder to shoulder. So I don't think it was so bad. I guess maybe people thought it was out of character for Brock Lesnar. I thought it works fine. And then he says, oil up my brother. Well, we know that's what wrestlers do, right? They get oiled up and everything and stuff like that, make the muscles pop and all that things. But yeah, being said, with this with the ending here, as the heels all walk up to the back, we get to where Roman Reigns, he helps CM Punk up and shows respect, gives him the fist bump, not holding it against him that CM Punk lost the match. It was pinned. Cody Rhodes then refuses to accept Roman Reigns' hand when getting up, and the two of them get a little intense face to face, but cooler heads prevail, and Roman leaves the ring and tells Cody Rhodes face to face, this is the last time. Oh yeah, I forgot to show, yeah, that's the stomp there and everything and stuff like that. I agree. Dave Scheffler will be on the review soon coming up. No yeet there, wrong place, wrong time. Exactly. Yeah, that was, you can see that's not clearly Seth Rollins. He's not built like that. Most likely Austin Theory, and then yeah, there you go. That's everybody, celebrating all that stuff there. But that being said, getting back to this thing here, at the ending, Roman Reigns says, yeah, he'll never team with Cody Rhodes again. So it looks like they're and the screen fades to black, and so we get nothing. I was hoping they're going to reveal the mystery tactic. It just, unlike previous years, 2023, when we got CM Punk surprise return, they really don't end too much. We just have to wait and see in the coming weeks. That being said, they're teasing, looks like they're going to go for Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns 3, and if they can't get Seth Rollins, then I guess guess that makes sense to do that. I love Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns WrestleMania matches. I think it's going to be a fantastic trilogy. I just thought they would probably do it sooner or later. I wouldn't mind seeing CM Punk versus Roman Reigns and everything first, but we'll see where this all ends up going. But yeah, overall, that is the War Games match, the whole War Games for Survivor Series 2025. Overall, like I said, yeah, I don't think it was the most newsworthy show in terms of like shocking, like, oh my gosh, wow, and everything. And I thought the men's and women's war game matches were quite tame compared to previous years. Once again, not taking away what we saw in there. I still thought the matches were fun. The men's war games match I had a lot of fun with, but it really was carried a lot by its star power, because usually you had these amazing stories being told in the men's war games match, and then with the women's war games match you had like this really cool action thing going on with there. Yeah, this overall, I would say I probably am definitely not gonna have to put this up here as like one of the all-time great Survivor Series war games from what we've seen over the past few years, but overall it was a good solid show. Can't say it was a bad show. And as I've always said, with like, you know, going back to Triple H's days as NXT's creative head, some are gonna be good, some are gonna be great, but you never get a bad show. And I feel like at the end of the day, yeah, this wasn't the greatest Survivor Series show, but it wasn't a bad show. It was a good show. But obviously for a big four, you want to have those higher expectations and everything. But let's check out now and see what's going on in the chat. So not much from what we've already read here and everything. Well, that being said, guys, I'm about to hop on off of this live stream, and you guys can join me over on the No DQ site, as we'll be going live soon, probably about 20 minutes from there. I'll be going ahead and talking with the good folks at NoDQ.com for as far as our thoughts on Survivor Series and the fallout. And that being said, I will be back sometime later this week with a review with my ranking of these 4 Survivor Series matches. So until then, you can make sure to follow me on my social media platforms. All our links are in the description right there. Until next time, everyone, take care.